name's Mark, aka The Hobbyist, and today I want to share with you guys what I wore on my first big game hunt. It was for elk in Colorado during 4th Rifle. I live in Florida. As you'll see as my channel progresses, I do a lot of Florida man things, aka outdoor activities. So this was a unique experience for me. I didn't know what to expect, and I didn't really find a lot of content out there that helped somebody like myself prepare. You know, there's a lot of channels out there that try and sell you all the gear. I have no affiliation with any of these brands, nor do I have a merch store. I just kind of want to put the information out there for the masses. So maybe if somebody else is looking to do their first big game hunt in the winter, they're maybe a little bit more prepared. So I'm going to start from top to bottom, kind of go through the things, and I'll talk about some gear that I kind of ditched along the way. For reference, this was 4th Rifle. The average temperature in the morning was below 5 degrees, and then during the day it heated up to just around 20 degrees. So Florida man, really different, but I definitely had the right gear and I definitely had too much gear. We did not camp overnight, and this is not a full gear list. This is just kind of layers and clothing that I wore. So you don't see any camping gear here or anything, but I did definitely think about preparing for the worst. So there are some pieces in here that I kept in my pack. So starting at the bottom, aka the boots, I wore the Crispi, I think these are the Wild Rock GTX. They're insulated, 600 or 800 grams of insulation. They were awesome. They were awesome. I found that I definitely did want the Farm to Feet Ellie or Eli sock. They're medium weight. I tried the lightweight version and I wasn't as happy. I also tried one day the lightweight with a liner sock, and I definitely felt that rubbing and that slipping. So I definitely recommend this medium layer. Great sock, really loved it, very happy. Then I definitely had a pair of Gaiters. I'm only showing you one. These are the Kuius. They ripped on my last day of the hunt. Coming down at night, kind of just snagged on a piece of sagebrush. But really, other than that, nothing bad to say. They did their job. I just wish they didn't rip. I'm gonna try and patch them up. This is a piece of gear, but I wore it on my body, so I'm talking about it. This is the Mystery Ranch vinyl harness. Very simple, kind of just has the magnetic clip, binos inside, a little pouch here where I store my accessories, lens cleaners, stuff like that. And then I was able to put my wind checker right in here. And anything that I put on this pocket kind of fell out. I tried carrying a radio one day there to communicate with my spotter in the truck, and that really didn't hold there. So I don't know what you could really put here other than maybe like a Snickers wrapper once it's done and stuff in there. Moving on up, this is the Sitka Merino wool base layer, lightweight. I have it in both the subalpine and this pattern. It was fine, you know. Changed every 2 days, didn't really stink. There are some times where I put a little bit of stink into it, and it did, so I changed it. But great, you should probably have, honestly, I would have a pair for every 2 days. Moving on, I then have the Timberline pants, which were fantastic. I wore them with the suspenders that were included, as well as the knee pads. And the knee pads really never got in the way. And it was nice when you were hiking up a mountain and you just really need a break to bust down onto your knees and kind of take that break, because the incline on some of these mountains I hunted outside of Silverthorne, Colorado, it was steep, it was tough, it was high elevation. And to get off your feet and not have to sit on your butt for a break was really nice. So just like 30-second break on the knees, and you didn't have to worry about what you were kneeling on and being discomfort. So the knee pads were really great for that. But you don't necessarily need them, but like I said, they never got in the way for me. So this is the Kelvin active jacket. I wore this in the mornings as we were leaving our cabin. and getting up to the trail, probably the first 20 minutes hiking until I warmed up, I wore this. After that, it was way too much. And I was just wearing the core base layer at that point. This is the lightweight hoodie, core lightweight hoodie by Sitka. Fantastic piece. I also have just the core lightweight without the hood. And I definitely prefer the hood. I was able to block the wind sometimes from getting under my neck and into my clothes. So I would definitely go again. This is probably a good thing to have two of, if not three, so maybe every 2 days, change that out if you're not gonna be doing laundry in the middle of it. And this is a piece that I talked about that I prepared for the worst. In case weather changed, we got stuck out there, we had to class for a while. The Kelvin was plenty warm, but if things took a turn and started snowing, I had the Jetstream jacket in my pack the whole time. Never had to pull it out, never wore it, but it was comforting to know that I had it in my pack. And then for Blaze Orange, the options from Sitka are just pretty pricey and I didn't see much. And being from Florida, again, I was thinking about an additional layer. So I was wearing this one by Kuiu, which is, it's called the Peloton 240 vest. So it is kind of insulated. It's almost like this micro fleece on the inside. It did add a little bit of warmth, but I was able to unzip it, and obviously with the no arms, it really didn't hold that much heat, but it definitely did protect a little bit of wind from hitting the chest. But I had the pack on, I had my bino harness on, so I don't know how much it really added. You could definitely go with the cheap Walmart option. There's nothing wrong with that. There were plenty of guys on the mountains with it. I just thought maybe I needed that extra layer. I didn't hunt without it, so I can't tell you. But I did say I went hiking on scouting days, Monday, Tuesday with it, without this, and I didn't notice that big of a difference. So whatever really has a Blaze Orange layer, don't go crazy. I could see the value in this when it really gets those cold hunts. If you're in a tree stand, if you're sitting still, if you're glassing, probably really helps. And then the matching beanie, also from Kuiu. Great piece, heated up a ton. I had an orange ball cap with my company logo on it as well, that when this got too hot, I'd swap that out and I had it clipped on with a carabiner on my pack, and I would just stuff this into a pocket somewhere, my pant pocket right here. But definitely in the mornings, this was nice, kept me warm. And when we were glassing and we would stop, I definitely had this on over the ball cap. And for gloves, I have a pair of North Face E-tip Apexes that aren't here shown. They did great. I loved them because I was able to use the foam. This kind of was like hit or miss. These are the Sitka, it was Sitka gloves. Not really sure. I'll drop the name in the comments or in the description. They were fine, no complaints. You definitely don't need camo pattern gloves, but I went all out. I bought the whole system. And they were good to have. I also carried with me the Blizzard GTX mittens. Again, from Florida, didn't know what to expect. I never busted those out. I did wear them over my North Face gloves because they were a little big on me. I planned on wearing a smaller glove underneath had I needed to bust those out. So I did try them out to see how they were. They were very warm, very hot. But I really just stuck to these or the North Face ones the whole time. That's pretty much my outfit that I wore, my fit, my layers, my gear. Moral of the story, I took way more stuff. I took the mid-weight hoodie as well, and my wife ended up wearing it in the truck because I never needed it in the system. I could see if you're camping overnight where things get a little bit chilly, you know, you might want those extra layers, especially maybe to even sleep in. But for what we did, cabin camping, if you want to call it that, I definitely did not need that, but I'm sure I'll use it on a hunt in the future. So something good to have. I will say the Stika Gear really did hold up well. No complaints on that. We went through some brush. I called myself the Kool-Aid man during the hike because on the way down, when we were just trying to bomb it to the truck to move or go up a different trail. We weren't really, once we saw there were no elk, no species in the area, we weren't really too worried about the noise, and I was bombing down through some thick, aspen or burns, and I would either have this on or the core layer, and it really held up. So hats off to them for making really quality stuff. I'm a big fan of the buy once, cry once. So invest in the good gear. I really think it made all of the difference. And I don't know that I would have gone with just a base layer if I was maybe wearing some Walmart cotton. I used to hunt like that, and I have plenty of that gear in the closets. But like I said, this was my first big game hunt, and I was worried about the cold. So I invested in some really good gear that I knew would last me a long time so that I would survive. I was really worried about not making it, being really uncomfortable. And the worst thing, and I've been in that position before whitetail hunting, where you get cold and it's impossible to warm up. So this stuff really did me and did really well, but a lot less gear than I anticipated I would need. So glad I had it in the pack or at the cabin. Had weather changed, but like I said, the Jetstream stayed in the pack the whole time, and the Kelvin jacket came off about 20 minutes into hiking. So yeah, questions, comments, drop it.